Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, let me see if we are working. Real quick. Do you
And
want
then
to
how do I
check?
pronounce the character again? Is it Laris?
Alaris.
Okay.
Alaris?
Sorry. And Crow.
We're just checking to see if it's working.
And I'll pretty much refer to you by your character name unless something comes up or if it's confusing.
That's perfect. You want to click on it real quick? Yeah. Can you hear us on there? Testing, testing, testing. We're just checking to see if it's working. Okay.
I'll pretty much refer to you by your character name.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. Is it echoing now? I want to make sure it's not echoing. Um. Awesome. Yeah. Okay. Is it echoing now? Testing, 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 testing. Testing. I don't know how to do. Oh wait. Duh. Testing, testing. I don't know how to check.
I have to go in the other room.
Yeah, do you want to do that? That would help. Yeah, we only have to do this one time. Thank you. Unless someone shows up, because I don't think they've ever seen us do a live stream before. But for anyone, for the later part of the show, we are doing a live Dungeons and Dragons episode. This is Josh, right, Josh?
I'm Josh Bernice. Nice to meet you guys. I run a Facebook page called Awesome DM for Hire, and I am excited to be here.
Awesome. And we are echoing, but I will have Josh's links below if you guys want to check that out. I know we are echoing, so I'm working on that real quick.
Make sure that you set your mute. You've muted your D20 thing, and that might solve the problem.
Okay. Yeah, I think we did mute that. I had
I see
two.
Lisa's muted, but I don't see yours, Stevie.
Oh. You're right.
And if you hold your mouse over your character, it should give you the option to mute it, and then I think that should solve your problem.
Okay. Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing.
You're on my end.
All good?
Yeah.
Awesome. Just waiting for Lisa. Testing.
And then obviously you have a holding page in front of you as our loading page. If I have handouts, they'll appear as like extra clickable windows in front of you. You can feel free to pan those as needed for the game.
Okay.
The watching and see them.
Awesome. Awesome. Sounds good. Mm-hmm. Awesome. So we'll start the. I want to introduce everyone again, and let's make sure that is all set. Sweet, sweet. And pop out the chat. Okay. Oh, wait till Lisa gets back. We're also gonna, Josh, we're gonna have one of my editors. They're gonna take this and make it look real nice, so you could use it for marketing if you like.
Absolutely.
So Lisa is using the restroom real quick.
Yeah, and just shoot me, shoot me like a link to your page too. Like, so nothing I can subscribe to help you out.
Oh yeah, heck yeah! Thanks, man. We actually are just about to hit 1,400 subs.
Nice, that's very impressive.
Yeah, we didn't do any marketing on it. We posted a video and then we went to eat at Chewy's. This was like 2 years ago. We looked down and we're like getting 30 subs an hour. We're like, what is going on?
And that's the thing. If you didn't market it, then it's because it's the quality of your product. So you should be very proud.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. When we really we need to post more videos, but we bought a new house, which we were gonna do a whole video on, and adopted a puppy. We were gonna do this video that says we had a baby, And we might still do that, but it turns out it's a puppy.
What is going on?
Okay.
Whoa. Oh, okay, I hear you. Okay.
That was just me clicking on the link.
Oh, that sounds good. The audio
yeah,
sounds
that
really
sounds pretty
good.
solid. It's
Yeah.
a long delay, so just be aware of that.
Right.
And then if you want to share with anybody else, typically it's smart for my other streamer friends to send it out on Facebook, Twitter, whatever you got, because that's typically how people are going to find it more than finding it directly through YouTube.
Right. Okay. Yeah, definitely.
Depending on how many people actually follow your stuff or not. But subscribed, I have.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, so now we are all set to go.
Okay, you just tell me live, and I'll just get going whenever you're good to go.
Oh, we have been live. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, like when you want to, for your editor purposes, you know.
I gotcha. Well, let me find the chat because now it is. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Oh, I don't want to start swearing profusely.
Yeah, no, go for it. Okay, so hey everyone, and welcome back to my ENFP-ness. I am the one, the only penis, ENFP-ness that is, and this is the lovely girlfriend. Lisa, right? Lisa Hammett. Oh, are we supposed to say our last names? I don't remember.
No.
Okay, I'm Stevie Collier, so well, if you're gonna look up anyone, look me up. And today we are doing a Dungeons and Dragons episode. It's something Lisa and I have been wanting to do with this channel since day one. We just didn't know how to set it all up. And today we are honored to be DM'd. We are being DM'd by the professional, the amazing, the Texas, the best DM in Texas, Josh.
Hi, everybody. I'm Josh Moniz. I run the Facebook page Austin DM for Hire, and pleasure to be here. I'm excited. Though I need to make a caveat. I am originally a Minnesotan, a damn Yankee, so how dare you?
Minnesota.
Oh, yeah, sure, you betcha. We're up there with our hot dish and our pop, and we're going to just scooch right by you there and just say, oh, for cute.
Whoa.
I will say oofta, but, like, I never said that when I was in Minnesota. It's just that, like, now that I'm down living in Texas, Austin, Texas, that, like, my body is almost, like, reacting, like, to a virus, and I'm becoming a cartoon of what I used to be.
What is it? It's Uta?
It's oofta.
Oofta. Sounds German.
Midwestern exclamation. Yeah, German, Dutch, kind of a little bit of everything in there.
Oofta. Is that like crap or something? Or
oh, sure, you betcha.
Oh, sure, you bet. Oofta. Oh, my God. So
it's just like you have a long day, you're like, oofta.
Oofta. Oofta. Sounds almost...
You hear something really weird, I'm like, oh, oofta.
I love that.
That is... Whoa. That is some northern stuff. It's
Oh, yeah. How dare you slander me?
with the Texan.
More to be called the damn Southerner.
Southerner.
This joke.
No.
Well, if you're ready, I'm ready.
Yep.
Yeah, so today we're playing a Dungeons and Dragons game today. Should we introduce our characters now, you think?
Yeah, go ahead. Starting with you, Stevie. Explain your character, its name, and what the background is, and where you guys are currently, and then Lisa can do the same.
So, I am the lovely, the beautiful, the handsome, the charming, and the not-so-smart, apparently, Crow. My full name is Corvo Vanguard. I recently escaped my parents' paladin cult, where we were going crazy, obsessed with this god. I will not lie, it was half sex cult, which is not very paladin. They say... the rumor or the nickname they put on our cult was the pallies with the tallies. So that's a penis joke. It's been like what, 2 minutes? So we're the...
It's not D&D unless you're not making penis jokes.
You gotta have a penis joke. Hold on, I have penis for thoughts.
Every D&D stream
the
has
pallies
to have
with tallies.
joke and comedically filling and opening a door.
Oh, we will have. So I escaped, and I took to the streets trying to sell my stories, trying to entertain the people. Not so very successful. And so at night, I took on the identity of a Robin Hood-esque character named Crow, based off my name, Corvo. And so I go by Crow, and yeah, so I was stealing from the rich, giving to the poor, while also taxing the poor and giving some to me. So,
Yep.
That's me. That's Crow, your boy. Did I mention I was handsome? Sorry.
And Lisa, give us a little bit of background on your character and how your character found Crow.
Okay, so my character is Alaris, and I was abandoned when I was a wee little child onto the streets. And so I just stole and kind of sustained myself until I was taken in by a thieves guild. And I learned how to pickpocket better and steal. And I've worked my way up to being kind of the second in command of the guild. And then one day I walk up, I'm on the street, and I walk up and see the first in command of the guild bleeding out on the street.
Yeah.
With the crow kneeled next to him, praying.
And that's where we met. Covered in blood, and I'm laying over a dying guy saying a quick prayer.
And a little
And
bit of a song.
after that, do you want me to continue, Josh?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. So after that, before Alaris can get to me, these thieves jump out and they're like, "What did you do to our leader?" And I'm like, "I didn't do shit." And they don't believe me, probably because I'm dressed up as a crow. So they take me into their little thieves' den, a prison, and are going to kill me.
And then I go up to him once he's imprisoned. I'm wanting information. And he says he did not do it, but he knows who did because the leader, kind of a dying last moment, told him, you know, what happened. And he said, if you rescue me from here and help me get out, I will tell you what he told me.
That is what I said.
Yeah, that is what you said.
That's what I said. So that is where we are at. And then, well, Josh, I'll let you take over.
All right. Alaris, you find yourself in the middle of the night in a city known as Pearl Cove. Pearl Cove is the main central coastal city, usually for commerce and ships to leaving from the main continent that you're currently on. You know, you've been in the city for quite a while. And that's why there's such a criminal element. There's a lot of money flowing back and forth between Pearl Cove. The larger continent itself is called Balte, B-A-L-T-E. And at this moment, you find yourself in the dark, having snuck around to the back door that you have intentionally damaged and injured so that it would not lock properly. It will still close and appear to be shut, but you've intentionally damaged the back door after speaking with Crow earlier. I would like you to make, you kind of creak this door open. A little bit of light, flickering light from the single torch in the back comes in. I would like you to make a stealth check to see if you can sneak in without being seen.
So that's where I go to mine.
And that would be their second column, alphabetical, under S. You step in, having rolled that natural one, which means you horribly failed at this.
Did you really?
You sneak in with minimal effort. You know, you're pretty good at this. It's pretty intuitive. You kind of come around the corner, and you you do a quick pickpocket. You undo his lock. You're like, okay, we're out. Just as you turn, as somebody is coming in to bring him his meal, the guard immediately meets you eye to eye. What do you do?
How far is he from me?
I would say he's about 10 feet, so 2 squares away from you. He's like immediately coming around. His hands are full of the tray, like it's way done with food, like some roast chicken and like a little bit of water that he's going to provide for him. It's pretty meager, but not terrible meal. And he's just like, he's made direct eye contact. He hasn't even had a chance to react or process it in his brain yet.
Okay, I'm going to tell him that I am taking the prisoner to interrogate him in private.
He looks directly at you. The situation doesn't seem very compelling. I'm going to need you to make a deception check with disadvantage that you have that natural one. It's going to be very hard to convince him unless you can do it just right. Even with disadvantage, you got a 17. Let me roll for him. Okay. You immediately, he's like, wait a minute. I didn't think you were going to be here till later. Wait, I'm going to need to get my manager. He starts turning back to go yell at somebody. He is distracted at the moment. He believes you, but he's about to call on somebody that's immediately know the chick is up. What are you going to do? Door is the hallway's down 10 feet down, and then another 5 to the right, and you'll be right out the door.
Okay. As soon as he turns around, I'm gonna sneak up behind him and try to incapacitate him, but not kill him.
Okay. I'd say make an attack roll.
Hey,
attack
Josh.
Weapon, but we'll do non-lethal damage.
Josh, can we turn the music down by like half? Is it loud for you? Okay. Let's see how that is.
It comes out different on my end. Thanks for telling me.
Yeah, how's that sound to you, Lisa?
That's good.
Okay,
All right.
okay, let's do that. Sorry.
No problem at all.
Oofta.
Okay, so I need to do what?
Yeah, just make an attack roll like you're attacking with one of your short swords, but we'll be doing non-lethal damage to represent you kind of bonking him on the back of the head.
Okay.
He turns around. He's got a helmet on, but you can see a soft spot on the neck where he's kind of bald, and he has kind of shave back there, so it's pretty clear. He has regular kind of heavier armor on, and you can see directly through the door. The person has to turn around, but they're kind of like he's communicating to somebody that isn't paying attention to him yet.
Okay. And so I need to click what? I'm sorry?
And the sheet in the very, very center, you have your weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and attack as if you're attacking with one of your short swords. 22 will hit. Click on the word short sword, and this is the non-lethal damage you do from just bonking him on the back of the neck. Okay, 7's enough. You immediately go, clunk, and it's just he immediately passes out, falling face forward, smacking on the ground. He was also carrying a tray full of food, plates, and a glass, which immediately scatter and clank all over the floor, alerting about everybody in the area to this immediately. The door slams shut, temporarily. You're yelling. You hear about at least 6 people running for the door, but they don't have immediate visual on you. What are you two going to do?
So I quickly, I toss a rock to Alaris and I say, just pretend I threw this at him.
Okay, so you're going to stay in your cage?
Am I unlocked right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm going to pretend I'm...
to the door she has unlocked in the back.
I'm going to pretend I'm still locked up.
Okay, so you pull the door back shut.
Yes.
Okay.
And I toss a rock. Right.
Okay. Alaris, are you staying here to be interrogated?
Oh, I tossed the... Oh, yeah, so... Because I'm trying to trick the guards into thinking I'm the one that hit him?
Yeah, you can totally try that.
Okay.
They will obviously interrogate Alaris, because why is there a person in this hallway?
Oh. Why is there what in the hallway?
Why am I there?
Why is there a random
Oh.
person in the hallway wearing police uniform?
Okay.
Standing here next to a knocked out police officer.
Oh, I thought you were second in command. Maybe you came in
the
on
Thieves
it.
Guild.
Right.
The one
Oh.
that they probably recognize and like the least.
Oh, this is the police... Oh, I'm sorry. This is the police station.
Yeah, you're currently in the police station.
I thought we were in the thieves' den.
No. You're in the police station because guards immediately came suspecting you because you were on top
Gotcha.
of a dead body and they were accusing you.
Okay, I'm going to change it then.
Yeah.
We're going to try and run out the back door.
Yeah, so this room, is there a back door?
Yep, there's a clear hallway down, another 5 to the right, and it's just right out the door. That's the one she broke from earlier.
Oh, heck yeah. Let's do that. Let me look at my skills real quick to see if there is something I can do to trip him up. It disappeared on me. 1 second.
You do have ball bearings, Laris. I know you have that in your pocket. Alternatively, you could try and wedge the door or something real quick.
Yeah, so... Do you have anything you are trying to use?
Would work for sticking a door. Ball bearings could trip people up. It just kind of depends on what you're looking to do.
I'm looking at my skills. My magic, because I see Vicious Mockery, Cure Wounds. For some reason, it has vicious mockery 3 times.
Okay. You hear the shouting. You can hear the guards are getting closer. They're about to be at the door any minute now.
Oh,
Okay, I'm going to throw down some ball bearings
Okay.
to slow them
You take
down.
like a handful, probably about 20, and you scatter them around. They're perfectly smooth, almost to the point of having reflection. They kind of scatter across the floor. The entire area from the gate to the door where you knocked that person out, that's going to be very hard to traverse right now.
Awesome. And then we're going to skedaddle out back.
yeah, so we're going to run out the back.
Okay, you guys take off running fast. It's kind of hot and muggy in here because they have good AC, because it's a jail. And
Yeah.
as you bang, you burst out the back door, you can feel that cool relief of the ocean air at the night kind of coming through. The moon is sitting high in the sky, giving a gentle reflection. To your left, you can see the docks, and to your right, you can see streets stretching off. A little ways down, a safe spot that you know about, Lisa, is a tavern known as the Widow's Peak.
Ooh.
We head there.
You sprint there, running fast. It rained not too long ago, so there's a slick squeak of your feet against the cobblestone. You're panting and sweat dripping down, but you're able to go down. You hear like the shout as people coming in the door back where you left behind. You immediately like the clutter and slam of armor and shields as clearly they're tripping up on those ball bearings you threw down, and you're able to get down and around the corner before anybody gets you, even a glimpse. You kind of take a slower walk, and you walk as casually as you can right into the tavern. It's pretty packed, large crowds of people, all different races, genders, and all kinds of different backgrounds packing in here. This is a pretty popular bar, especially for sailors that come in and out from every different continent around here, dropping off goods, taking some free time here for R&R, and then moving on to wherever they're delivering the next set of goods. You take a deep breath, and you grab a table in the center. You guys are currently undetected. You have a bit of a liability if that guard comes too. He will know what both of you look like, but outside of that, so far you've given them the slip.
All right.
Awesome. Well, cool. I what am I wearing at this point? Just my leather? Do I have a hood?
Yeah, you have a pretty simple hood. You're still probably wearing your outfit from when you were arrested, so you still have your crow on. But if you just pull off a couple of ornaments, it just looks like a feathery kind of jacket essentially.
Okay. I throw my hood over and I grab 2 drinks from a passing waitress and hand one to her and put my arm around her in order to disguise myself and put myself into to camouflage myself into all the craziness that's going on in here.
Yeah, that's pretty smoothly, except for one thing. You grabbed them off of the tray of one of the barmaids that was carrying stuff over. This shorter, she's like pretty tall for a dwarven woman, but short compared to you. Immediately turns over, like infuriated. Those are going to somebody else. What do you think you're doing? She has kind of goldish blonde hair, and as with all Dwarven women, they also have a luxurious beard also. That's part of their cultural traditions. So she's looking very mad at you and demanding that you return those drinks.
Do I have
Assuming you've got a mooch that's trying to steal free drinks.
Do I have any money?
I'd say you have about 50 gold on pocket. Just like you don't have all your gold on, you just have like that in your immediate pocket.
So I pull out 2 gold and I flash them to her and I say, "Go and
That's
get
10 gold, buddy.
What? Like that's a
10
lot?
gold there, buddy.
Oh,
You're
that's
trying to get 2 and she's correcting it as 10.
10? And I'm like, and I say, "Of course it is." And I flash my hands like this and there's 10 exact coins there. Like I was prepared for it.
She's like, okay, she starts away to go get fresh ones for the person she was trying to serve, grumbling at you, but otherwise the issue is resolved.
And then
Awesome.
I take the drink he gave me, but push his arm off me.
Yeah.
I said, "Don't get too
And so,
familiar here. I got questions for you."
Crow, your drink immediately sloshes, some of it spilling off of the top, but otherwise you retain most of your drink.
And I say, "Well, hey, that's a really great idea." So I pour a lot of it on me and take another swig to add to my disguise.
You definitely smell like you've been drinking here a while now.
Have I been here before?
You are not familiar with this one. Like, you've heard about it and maybe been here once, but like you really aren't too familiar with this bar at all. You're usually on the other side of town.
Okay, so I head to the bar and I just put my elbow on it and I rest my head on there on my arm looking at her. And
Well, she was going to grab you before you walked away, and she was demanding some answers out of you.
is that what you said you were going to
Yep.
do? Oh,
So you started to go, and you immediately get stopped, and she kind of like spins
Okay.
you around to get there.
well, I say, you want questions, you want answers from me. I should be asking you the questions. I don't know who you are, and I don't know why you saved me, but, I look in the mirror every day, and now I guess I can understand why. I would save me too, honestly.
And I hold on to his shoulder, and I say, if you don't tell me what he told you before he died, I will take you right back and put you right back in your cell.
I say, I don't know what you're talking about.
And then I stand up and I drag him behind me. I say, well, then let's go.
Where are we going?
To put you back in your cell.
Oh, no, that's okay. Yeah, so you seem to know your way around these streets. You look like you do. You smell like you do too. So, how about this? I'll make you a deal. I was going to leave the city anyway. It's not a good look for me anymore. I want to see the sights. If you can help me to escape, I will tell you exactly what that strange bloody fountain, that human bloody fountain man said to me.
You're gonna have to tell me something.
Okay, he's dead. Now, will you take me?
No.
No, okay. He said something about...
I'm waiting.
He said something about a man in a dark cloak with a
And the other
very
thing-
nice
this is gonna be
perfume.
this is going to be out of character. The other thing that you heard him whisper right before he died, the second thing he said to you, and you can dictate what the first one with the cloak is going to be. That's going to be, I'm going to leave that to you. But the second thing he said to you is that we should have never taken the altar.
Should have never taken the altar. Okay, so I'm going to
You
keep
decide
that.
whether or not you're going to keep that close to the vest or tell her, but that is some additional information that you had him, that he conveyed to you.
Okay, I'll stick to the first one.
Okay.
And can I tell you why I said that first one? Or do you want me to keep that to myself?
You go right ahead. You just kind of speak out of character and then.
Okay.
say what part
Yeah, I'm lying about number one
Mhm.
to keep my number two.
Yeah.
So,
Now, Alaris, you can think of a lot of people in dark cloaks, including people from your own criminal organization that could be involved. Like your head's already thumbing through, many enemies that your leader had, and like even rivals within the same organization. And that's like it's information that seems plausible but thin. Do you believe him, or do you want to try and check and see if he's lying?
I'm gonna check and see if he's lying.
oh, okay.
Okay. So you're gonna roll an insight check, and Stevie, you're gonna roll a deception check.
Okay.
And whichever is higher will dictate whether or not you're believed or not.
You told me he was in a dark cloak. That's like the most vague thing.
Well,
You
I've
could possibly
been
say.
drinking, all right? My character sheet actually glitched, so I need to bring it back up. Let me... Yeah, I was only showing half of my stuff for some reason. You said a deception check, right?
Yes, please.
Yes. Okay, hold on here. Yeah, that's weird. Do you see that? Everything disappeared.
Might just be taking trouble loading. I typically
Nope, go to
have
core.
them
Oh.
open, but minimize them.
Lisa figured it out.
I see.
Where are you?
And
Deception.
then it's alphabetical. You got a natural 1. You are so obviously lying that it's kind of awkward.
Oh, shit. All right. So you think...
And more specifically, what he said to you is that we should have never taken the altar. We're all paying for it.
All right, I'll tell you half of what he told me, and half when you help me escape. Is that a good middle ground for you, milady?
This is your last chance.
So you're not going to bargain with me at all.
No.
Okay.
What reason does she have to?
You're
In
sketchy.
the weaker position, and you've been lying. Now, at this moment, right when he's about to speak or not speak, you're grabbing the shoulder, Alaris, and you get spun around, and it is one of your good confidence, Latris, and he is like one of the people you most trust in your organization, and he says, "I need to talk to you now."
And I say, yeah, he needs to talk to you. What'd you say your name was? Do I know her name?
No, you don't know anything about any of these people so far.
Okay.
Like,
So,
if she were to mention the criminal organization, you'd like know about it and stuff. But you currently don't know who anybody is and whose anybody's name is.
I got you. Okay. So I say, yeah, he needs to talk to you. I'll be over here. I promise I won't leave.
Do I have any other...
Can we turn down the music just a little bit more,
For sure.
Josh? Sorry about that.
No problem at all.
Is there anyone else I work with in the bar right now?
Yes, it is much better.
Typically, you could go up and you could talk to the bartender, giving the secret code, and then there would be about 3 or 4 people in the back hidden. The fact that he's talking to you out in the front instead of saying we should go in the back and the fact that he has a certain degree of concern in his eyes tells you that something's up.
Okay, I want to tell the bartender to watch this weirdo and make sure he doesn't leave.
Tis you. I got you. And he turns to you. You want another drink? He says to you, Crow.
And who says that to me? I'm sorry.
The bartender.
Yeah. Fine, whatever. One drink for the weirdo, I guess.
When you go to pay with the money, he immediately grabs your hand, slaps on a cuff, and immediately locks it into a metal pulse that's like built into the bar itself.
And I say,
I pat him on the arm. I say, I'll be right back.
And you are now handcuffed by your left hand.
I take a drink
Try
from.
otherwise, but yeah, you got your drink still. But
I take a sip from my drink as if nothing happened, and I look at Alaris and I say, I didn't take you for the kinky type.
All right. Okay, so you're getting pulled away, and your confidant turns to you, and he's like, "You are in grave danger. They have been. It's clear that there's something larger going on with the leader's execution. They have been plotting in the back to somehow pin this on you, given that you were at the scene. Some of them are genuinely suspicious, and I think a couple are taking advantage of this because they see you as potentially being the next person in charge. And now that you have just freed this individual and walked into her tavern, they are now saying that you must have been involved in it, and they are currently hiring people to kill you. You need to get out of town right now as quick as possible."
Can I ask
And your
who?
immediately goes to a couple of people you're suspicious of, because like you've definitely had a couple people that wanted to be more vicious, like murder children and just kind of awful stuff like that. And you and the leader have been like very much a force of like, we're not going to be that kind of person.
Right.
We might do crimes, we might steal stuff, but we're not going to be that kind of organization. And they've been definitely vying for years for a way to get you out of the way so they can kind of enact more of their policies.
Gotcha.
And you don't even need to know off the top of your head. There's like 3 or 4 of them that like you could be either one of them, and you wouldn't be surprised in either way.
Okay. Great. So
Now you know that if you can get proof that you're innocent, you'll be fine. But right now, you know that you are currently in immediate and severe danger because they are notorious for being able to get to anybody at any time.
okay. So I need to get the hell out of there.
Does she look visibly troubled?
Yes, you just glancing back without even having to make a check. You can see she's like talking, and you see her expression immediately drop. The first time you've seen it since being introduced to her.
So I raise my drink to her and nod and take another sip.
Okay.
Well, some of the things you know offhand is you could try and flee further into the forest outside of town. That's risky because they might know the same hideout places you do. There's always ships at any given time that looking to hire crew to just do kind of general labor, and then a lot of them in particular at this time of the month will be going to the town of Squall's End. It's kind of a large cove city built on the edge of this new continent that was somehow not discovered for about 100 years, not too far off of the continent, about like a day and a half's journey. But like, you know that's a pretty safe place where you have a lot of people you could hide, and there's not quite as much agents from the organization that have infiltrated that area yet because it's pretty new.
Okay, so what I'm going to
You
do...
have a couple options. What do you think your character would think is the best move?
So I'm probably going to take this strange man with me because I know he still has information I want. And I'm going to go head to the docks.
You walk up to him, you kind of give a nod to the bartender, immediately unlocks him, and you grab him by the scruff of his coat, basically, like almost by the neck. What are you going to say?
You're coming with me. And then we...
I turn back to the bartender, and I'm uncuffed, right?
Yep.
I ask him if I can have those cuffs.
He gives you like the biggest confused face and just goes, absolutely not.
Well, I bang my arm.
Out of here.
I bang my hand on the bar top, and I say, "Hey, everyone, drinks on this guy!" And then I walk out with Alara.
Like you do it like this grand gesture, like you really do it, and like, I mean, everybody turns, sees who it is, and they just like not one of them believes you. Like, we're all more familiar with him than they are with you, and so like you did like a great job. If this is any other bar, that would have totally worked, but they just turn to you and they just like, it's just the most awkward silence you've ever experienced.
Well, I look back at the bartender, I stick up my tongue, and I say, "Well, I'm not tipping." And then I walk away, and I come back, and I leave a tip, and I walk out.
I like it. Okay, you guys start hustling pretty quick. He says that he's going to try and run. Your friend says he's going to run distraction in the meantime to make sure nobody comes out of this bar while you leave. But you're moving fast. It doesn't take too much effort. You weave between buildings, potentially take a non-direct route just in case anybody sees you, taking like smaller alleyways along the way. You're only about like maybe 10 minutes walk from the docks, so it doesn't take you too long to get there. Just as you're coming around the last alleyway, you kind of pause, you look, and there's like this stretch of these network of different docks, stretching almost a mile out into the water, just because of how many ships come in and out. It's like pretty heavily built up. It's almost as much a small section of the city as the main city itself. And you're kind of glancing out, and the coast seems clear. And at that point, you immediately feel a sharp blade, or it's at the back of your hip, and you hear like a voice behind you, a familiar voice. Zadok, who is one of the hired toughs for some of the arrivals, saying, "And you thought you could get away."
Do I notice this?
You both hear it. You notice this, and she kind of like loosens her grip on you, and you're aware that if you spin right now, like he'll probably stick that blade in instantly. So what do you want to do?
Do I know if I turn around? Oh, is the blade only in?
He's kind of ignoring you, but like keeping an eye on you. But he's like more focused on Alaris at the moment. And you take like 2 steps back, so you got a little space between the two of you.
Okay, can I assume maybe that we stopped and got some of my things, so I have my equipment, or no?
At this point, you got hauled straight there, so you got pretty much nothing on you. Like you got your important stuff, your weapons and stuff you've grabbed, but like you don't, because she had grabbed that out of the like what was essentially like the evidence locker on the way in.
Okay.
But you don't really have anything else on hand outside of that.
I don't have my instruments.
Anything that you would have just took out on your mission, that you would have that on hand, but anything that's not, you would not.
Okay, I'll say I still have my flute then.
Yeah, you can have a flute. That makes
okay, I'm gonna take that out and start playing it.
There's like a like confused look, and they both like snap their head to the right to you, like, "What are you doing?" And then what do you do when you start playing your flute? I
start dancing and kicking my feet, and I'm like using my eyes to look to the right, like, go. Distraction!
Okay. At this point, he's so confused. He's really annoyed because like your intention, like playing poorly, like you can play fine, but your intention, like playing the most obnoxious, like recorder sounding music humanly possible, and he's just so confused. Like he pulls the dagger off of her, turns to like points at you, like, "Knock that racket off!" And now you have an opportunity, Laura, if you want to do anything.
So now I will pull out a dagger.
Yeah.
And I will go ahead and just stab him.
Now, because he's completely distracted and you're spinning in like a real quick move, you get to do an attack with one of your short swords with advantage because you're surprising him.
Yeah,
yeah,
I was
that's what I'll do.
wondering. Nice.
You'll roll and you'll take the higher of the two numbers.
On my short sword? Right?
Yep, and it's the +5 that you should do. Okay. Your first one he sees it coming, he grabs it his left hand, he's like holding close his neck when he stops you. Okay, make the other attack with the other short sword. You got 2 attacks as a rogue. That one is like he's holding it, and then you kind of take the other one, you just get him right there in the gut.
Oh!
Go ahead and first click on the box where it says sneak attack, click that box, and then click on short sword in the chat. Okay, it didn't do it. I'll just roll the d6 for you. Just for sake of saving time. All right, let me double check.
Oh.
Yeah, it didn't roll. It's okay. I got it though.
Top.
Plus another one. That's a total of 9. You kind of just like he's like holding it, and then you just kind of flip the other one in your other hand. You go get it right in his gut, and you kind of pull it. You kind of shove it in under the rib cage and right into the heart. He just kind of stares at you like in disbelief, like he couldn't believe you're that fast. You pull it off and wipe it off, and he just kind of falls backwards onto the ground, dead.
And I start playing taps on my flute.
Very nice, very nice. You take another glance around. You don't see immediately anything, but you guys start running off towards the docks now.
Oh, can I check his body?
Sure.
Okay,
you'll find at least 2 more daggers, 200 gold, and a crest of a closed fist that's like grabbing onto like the side of a blade. It's like kind of carved in that way, which Alaris would know is a symbol of the organization.
Okay, and I'm gonna say a quick prayer before we run.
Okay. She's kind of like sitting there tapping her toe impatiently, like, what are you doing? But like, it takes you only like a second. And you guys can come on.
And then we run towards the
The
docks.
boards are creaking underneath. You can hear the of water underneath. And you find halfway down the dock, which is what Alaris knows where to go, there is a general call for different people looking. And in one in particular you hear is, I am Captain Kane Sutter, and I am looking for a few extra hands to help me. We're doing a short delivery to Squall's End, and I just need somebody that's going to be able to help.
And I say, I think we found our ship.
Oh. And you guys kind of both walk up. You're not exactly like dressed in like sea clothes, so it's like, what is your prior experience?
So I will immediately take on a persona as a pirate. I add a small limp to myself, and I say, "Arr! I have so much experience that if I were to sit here and tell you about all the experience, we would both be dead."
Son, I'm not going to buy that for even a second. You'll both get hired, but you're going to get half pay. All right, get on the boat. 500 gold when you get there.
But I didn't even get to say anything cool.
And he just dismisses you entirely. Like, he's like, I'm not buying that for a single second.
God dang it.
And he sends both you guys onto the ship. Pretty quick, you get set up with some clothing, and there's like a communal like kind of bunk bed situation on the bed. You get set up with a particular bunk bed together. Yeah, and that's about it. Is there anything else you want to do before they're going to set sail tonight?
Let's see.
You can explore the ship. You can, if you want to try and sneak back in town and do something, it's just, it's a liability, but you can do that. Is there anything in particular you want to do before they're going to take off? You got about 30 minutes before they're taking to sea.
I need to find my friend.
Okay.
And so I stop one of the pirates, hopefully, and I say, "Hey, do you have a banana?" That sounds wrong, and I realize that.
He seems like intrigued, and when you say he says wrong, he's like a little disappointed.
I'm like, "Buddy, we have the whole trip for that."
Well, what can I do for you?
Do you have a banana? Like a real one, like a yellow one.
He points, and there's like a couple like being loaded onto the dock just for like, they had an oranges for like vitamin C deficiency.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
You can have it out pretty easily.
Okay, so I just snatch one and I go to the edge.
The captain turns over and he's like, "I'm gonna dock that from your pay." It's got to probably be like not even $1.
Right, yeah, so I'm like, okay. I hope you slip on this peel.
Okay. You put it down. You kind of toss the whole banana away, very wasteful, and you put it on the ground.
Oh, no, I was just insulting him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got your banana. What are you gonna do with it?
So I break it in half, and I hold it in the air, and I make a...
Immediately, this kind of crackling blue energy kind of flows behind it. Your hair kind of lifts slightly off of the air, and like there's a kind of an indirect blue glow, almost like a hidden black light. And after a couple minutes, this spectral, kind of purplish blue colored ape, like a monkey, kind of appears next to you and kind of goes and kind of gives you like a positive nod. Anything you say or it says to you, you can perfectly understand, but nobody could understand the monkey outside of you.
Okay. So I will...
That's find familiar, so you can mark that spell slot off. You can save your time and not do it.
Oh,
Probably go before it matters. But if this was like say in the middle of combat, that would matter. And he's gonna hang around with you for the whole time, so you don't have to worry too much.
I actually don't have Find Familiar.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I can't get Find Familiar until like level 7. I thought it was just a real animal.
Okay. Well, I'll just say this is just like a spectral image you make as your buddy, but it's like it's not really does anything.
Okay.
And then you kind of quote unquote enhance it. We'll say.
Okay.
Because it's just not having fun.
Okay, right. Can I feed it then?
Yeah, you feed him the banana, and he's having a ball. Now, if anybody like somebody comes up to pet him and their hand just like goes straight through it because you haven't like learned how to like enhance it yet.
Okay.
So, like, you just go through it. It's just basically like a projected image. They're like, well, that's something different. Then they kind of just moves on. A little disappointed you couldn't pet a monkey, but otherwise fine.
So I say, "Hey there, Chester. Looks like we're on another adventure, you blue monkey bastard. Here's your banana, you fat monkey."
He starts chomping down on it. He's looking pretty happy.
Hey, you freaking whale.
People can't touch him, but he is actively consuming those bananas. Like they're actually getting eaten.
So he jumps up onto my shoulder, and where are you, Alaris?
I'm watching skeptically.
I will say Monkey, which I just called Monkey, jumps off my shoulders and runs over to Alaris and jumps on hers. Can I control the monkey that way, or do you want to do that?
Yeah, you can do that. Also, that's
okay. So she.
You don't do anything sophisticated like open a door or anything that requires some kind of force, but like non-pressure related things are fine.
So he jumps over onto Alaris, and I walk up to her and I say, "That's pretty rare for Chester to find someone that he likes, especially a street rat."
And I try and push him off my shoulder, but it just goes right through him.
It goes right through him. He has like no physical corporeal form, so
I said,
it's like sticking your hand through a film projection.
And I said, "Will you get this thing off me? It's probably got fleas."
And I'm like, "What's that, Chester?" Chester says that he is afraid of the same thing with you. And he starts picking through her hair.
Which doesn't do anything. You can't move her hair at all.
Okay.
He's like mimicking it more than actually doing it.
Okay. And as I walk up to Alaris, he hisses at me.
And I roll my eyes.
Little bastard.
Then he hops off and jumps back onto your shoulders. A little reluctant. When he starts picking through your hair, it works just fine.
And he's actually finding bugs.
Yeah, he can only interact with you in reality.
I got you. Okay. So I say to Alaris, "Hey, Josh, can we turn down the music just a little bit more?"
Yeah, no problem.
Does that work for you?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
No problem. Some of them are different levels too, so I have no problem getting that down for you.
That's good. Oh, that's perfect. So I say to Alaris, I say, "It looks like it's your turn to give some answers. Please." I did just save your life. I feel like I deserve a little, that sounds wrong. Who was the guy with sticking you in the back? Okay, that sounds wrong. Who's the guy with the hood?
You know that he's one of the number one kind of hired toughs for at least one or two of your rivals. So clearly you don't know who specifically is after you, but you can get a sense that like These are people that have been wanting to get you out of the way for a while.
Look, how about I trade you the other half of the information, and you tell me who the guy is that attacked us? Does that sound fair?
I guess I can do that.
And so I tell her about the altar. And we should never have paid for the altar. What was it again? We should never have paid for the altar?
We're all paying for it.
Okay, that's what I tell you.
Do I know what the altar is?
You know, the interesting thing is that for the most part, you don't. Like, what you know is about 10 years ago, you came in. You know, at one point, there was rumors that they had snuck in a ship from somewhere in like the island of Pratis, which is where Squall's Inn is located. That's the continent you guys are going to. That they had recovered some kind of large ultra of gold, but you never see anything proof. You did see drawings and like kind of historical documents about this altar one time 10 years ago on his desk. He immediately rolled them up and told you with like a seriousness that you've never seen him, that you should forget what you'd seen here. But you've never actually personally seen anything past that, which is fairly interesting to you because usually you're pretty up and knowledgeable about almost any secret and kind of double dealing with going on in your guild. So the fact that you're not aware of this has always intrigued you, and it kind of gives you also a sense of concern that whatever this is something that even you're not familiar with.
Okay, but I know it came from... Where is it we're going again?
It is the continent of Kratos, and specifically the ship is going to the one large kind of colonial-style settlement known as Squall's End. And you know just from enough experience that it is called Squall's End because about 50 years ago, there was a large settlement that had been set up there, even bigger than the current one. And then one time, a couple of ships were coming in, and they just found the whole thing gone. Like, the entire city had been leveled. They didn't find a single living person. The living theory is that some kind of massive hurricane or something might have taken them all out, but the answers are very few and far between. So there's no real clear explanation for it. So they've just kind of gone with that to rest easy, and they renamed the town accordingly.
Okay. And I know the altar came from there.
You know it came from some in the continent. You don't know if it came from there or elsewhere.
Okay.
And the main thing you know is that you don't know, you know.
Right. Okay. So I kind of tuck that away to think about. And I tell him that guy was just a rival, and now he's not a problem anymore.
And so I say, sounds like I did you more of a favor than you did me, so maybe I feel like I'm owed a little bit more.
And I roll my eyes.
You can walk away if you want.
And turn away. I turn away.
And I raise my hands and I say,
Back of him in case you need to like prove that you're innocent. But you're gonna go like your plan is to mainly ditch him when you get to the city and
Yep.
you know, find some stuff to exonerate yourself essentially, or you know, take out the people that are after you. Same difference.
Mm-hmm.
and I raise my hands and I'm like, what? I was just kidding.
She's already down and around the corner of the cabin, and she's like completely done with you.
and Chester goes like this. So I turn to Chester and I say, looks like we got a fighter. So I'm going to follow Alaris and I'm going to ask her, so you're some sort of rogue. I'm somewhat a rogue myself, but not really.
Do you want to like hide from him until like the next morning, or do you want him to be able to find you?
I am avoiding him.
Okay, make a stealth check for me.
God
Okay,
dang
that's
it.
pretty good. You're gonna have to make a perception check with disadvantage because you got a head start on you.
Seriously.
It's not impossible, but you're probably not gonna beat it.
Yeah, I don't think so. Let's see. Perception. Ah,
No.
I don't think
you're you're around the corner and she's just gone. You're like, wait, this doesn't make like physical geometric like sense. And you spend like about 30 minutes trying to check the whole ship. and you never find her once. So eventually, you kind of like get to hang go to bed until the next morning.
Real quick, I raise my fist and I say, well, I'm going to write a song about you. All right, and so I'm going to go to bed too.
Both of you eventually sleep off and wake up in the next morning at the crack of dawn. The general call to come and work on stuff around the ship, and I'll drag you over there. So go ahead and drag your character sheets so they drop the tokens anywhere around here on the ship.
Okay.
Do what, sir?
Like
So
this?
if you go on the right side under journal, you get your character sheet, and if you drag it onto the map, it will drop a token. Drop them around somewhere around here.
What's it doing though? Okay.
All right. First thing is you hear the general call as like different tasks and assignments are being hired. Like clearly you're hired just to do like a lot of menial tasks around. Like the main crew is doing like the serious stuff for sailing, but they just need extra people to just do stuff because this is like a pretty easy and pretty profitable trip. So they have the luxury of hiring people to just like kind of be more of a gopher or servant to them to a certain degree, and that's really the role you'll be filling. First and foremost, you see the captain at the main area giving his shouts out to everybody else and directing people around. And the two of you, you're going to be, I think, providing any kind of service I need because we've already assigned everybody else. First and foremost, I want you to go to talk to the first mate and see if we need any additional work done in terms of navigation.
And I say, aye, aye, Captain.
Why are you doing this fake accent? It's deeply annoying, and I might throw you overboard if you keep it up.
Why are you wearing that fake peg leg?
Just turns, walks away. He's just not going to deal with you.
A lot of people don't want to deal with you.
What you know from just talking to some other people and getting the gist, the first mate is Jadit. It is a kind of tropical parrot-colored Aarakocra, which is like a type of bird person. And Jadit is up on the crow's nest and kind of just like in one quick movement flies down to you. Can I help you? You the new hires, right?
Yes, we were told to ask you if you need help with navigation. Navigation?
Yes. That's what she was told. I was told to take a nap in the crow's nest. My name's Crow, by the way.
You want to take a nap in the crow's nest?
That's what the captain said. I don't make the orders. I just follow them.
I'm just shaking my head.
You know what? You can go do that. He
Well,
says
now-
with a very knowing look when he indicates, climb on up, 20 feet.
What kind of work do you have?
That's what I thought. All right. Well, what I need you to do is, first and foremost, I'm going to need you to look for some way markers for us. So specifically, there's certain types of wildlife and others that we typically see along the way that lets us know we're getting closer, because there are some deeply hidden rocks that we usually navigate around. We got a pretty good idea, and I'll be keeping an eye out on the crow's nest. But I want you to give me a shout when you start to see things. That kind of gives us like a general sense of when we're getting close. All right?
Perfect. That is perfect for me. I have amazing eyesight.
Let me know if you see any merfolk, if you see any kind of rock crashers, and if you see anything related to any kind of Taurians.
All right.
All right, and he flies back up.
And I turn to Alaris and I go, "Did you get all that? Rah!" Mocking Jodit.
And by the way, if these handouts that should have shown up for you, you can X them out anytime you're done, and then you can find them under the tab if you need to open them again.
Oh, cool. I actually like this guy. So I am going to go walk over to the edge, and I'm going to start looking. And I turn to Alaris and I say, "Bet I can find more mer people than you."
All right. Both of you make a perception check and see who's better at it. 11 and 7. All right. Oh, 12. Okay. 7 and 12. Yeah, actually, you end up, Crow ends up being better at this. Specifically, you guys are looking around. You do see you don't see the third thing listed, but you do see, first, Steve, you end up seeing, at the very far distance, as you guys start to see this island approaching, because like they obviously know where that's coming in, and you're on the far side of the continent. They're going to take this big kind of slipstream around past an area that, as they explained to you, has a large kind of commune living area. There's a lot of people that went out there to kind of get away from civilization. So there's a large group that goes by the name of the Quintissi commune. They accept all kinds of races, cultural backgrounds, gender, everything. And they're kind of a large, kind of get back to the roots, living in a kind of almost more tribal situation, even though they have some minor conveniences. And so they typically give a wave on the way high, and you know that that's what they're looking for as Decatur. In terms of what you're looking, you end up looking, Crow, more to the west side, out towards the expanse of the ocean. It just rolls away, except for the occasional white cap of a wave or two. You do see eventually at a certain point a couple of merfolk, about 3 guys and 4 women, pop up, and they start waving and kind of chasing you around like they're kind of like you're like kids like goofing off at the side of a highway almost. And they keep pretty close. You kind of look down, seeing the side of the ship where it lists it's labeled as the sea slicer, and you can see that they're kind of playing and goofing and splashing water at you. Do you want to interact with them in any capacity?
Yes, I'm going to, as carefully as possible, hide a small telescope that I stole from someone because I wanted to win this fight. Win this thing with Alaris.
So you cheated, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I cheated.
So you stick in your pocket, and then what do you want to do?
I turn to Alaris and I say, bet you I can hit one of those merfolk with this rock.
And I say, why would you do that?
What are they going to do? Swim up on the boat and get us? I'm bored, Alaris. Well, wait, I don't even know your name yet.
No, you don't.
So I have this rock, and I'm bouncing it up and down, and I say, so what is your name?
And I grab the rock midair, and I throw it at a merfolk, and I hit them.
Okay. It bonks off of the one of the guy's face, like it kind of like breaks his nose, because like the top up, it's just like a.
Oh my god!
It immediately cracks the nose. He's like bleeding. It's like, oh. And he like immediately dives underwater, like hurt. They all like kind of like give you like the arm, and they kind of thrust up the other arm, which is kind of like a universal sign for basically giving the middle finger. And one of them kind of like starts chanting under their breath, and they take a stream of water, which kind of magically rises on its own, and it's fired at you with the intensity of like a fire hose. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw to keep from getting knocked off of the ship.
Do I have to do the same?
No, you didn't throw the rock.
Okay.
I took the bait.
Dexterity saving throw. Second column on the very top. Okay, got an 8. You go sliding off, like you're like, you kind of like sliding. You literally like grab onto the like railing on the edge. You're about to like slip off, your feet are dangling off, and you barely don't. A couple other crew run up and they kind of help you. You're like blown basically all the way over to here, and you're like almost off. And a couple of crew kind of like run up and they grab you before you like it becomes something dangerous. Because if you're left in the water, you're gonna drown. Like even though the island's within sight, it's not anywhere close yet. They kind of haul you back on. You just kind of barely got there by the skin of your teeth. Literally the lowest you could have rolled.
I yelled at her saying, hey, you got my freaking boots wet.
You want to go up and budge him?
Yes.
Roll up and do an attack roll on him.
God dang.
What,
I say, uh-oh, as I see her walking towards me.
So I'm going to hit which one? Strength?
Just use one of your short sword attacks. That'd probably be a good equivalence. You'll do 1 point of bludgeoning damage if you connect. Yeah, that will hit because you got a natural 20 on the advantage roll. And so you just crack to the face. You take remove 1 hit point as you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage, and you get knocked on your ass. But otherwise, you're okay.
You liked it a little bit.
Yeah, I did, I guess.
As he does this also gives you an opportunity because you were kind of lost to the other side of the ship. you do notice, and you tell Jotted about it, that you do see, and what it is, and you kind of recognize these are called rock crashers. They're like large, solid stone, like that has been like formed over these creatures, and they almost kind of take the shape of like a large, maybe like a pizza pie sized jellyfish, about a half a foot tall, and they kind of form this natural hard rocks. They're almost like a big floating stone. They fly using kind of magical propulsion about a foot or two off of the water, and they have these massive long tentacles that dangle down in the water. And if they feel anything that kind of feels like food, if it brushes against it, they immediately, and you see one or two of them do this, they immediately cut out their flight and they smash themselves down as hard as possible into the water, and kind of like smash, killing, or at least stunning their prey, and then they kind of eat it. So they're almost like the giant rock jellyfish that float like about a foot or two off of the water. And you're able to like notice that you got black stuff. Yeah, you shout him out, and he's like, good job! You actually noticed something. Since Crow forgot to actually mention anybody to that before they scared off the merfolk.
I'm sorry, what?
You forgot to actually mention that you saw the merfolk to anybody.
Right.
They got scared off. So Alaris is the only one that actually is getting kudos for
that. I pick up another rock and I stand up, rubbing my head, and I turn to Alaris and I say, "I bet you can't hit that thing with this rock."
I'm not taking the bait.
Are you smart enough? Yeah, I thought
so. As I'm standing up, I grab her boot and pull it to like try to pull her onto her own butt.
At this point, just seeing the nonsense, just Jotted flies down and like stands between you. Are you gonna keep acting like children, or I gotta put both of you in the brig?
Depends. Is the brig an upgrade from that horrible hellhole you call the
jail?
Right. I'm just wondering if it's better than the horrible conditions you're making me sleep in now. I'll have you know, I am a bard, an entertainer, and I deserve something fancier to lay my head on.
Yeah, you can go scrub the toilets.
Shit. You know what? I will.
Okay. And as this map is laid out in front of you, the one you're on is like the upper deck, and then the part below is the lower deck. I will drag your character, and you're required to scrub the latrines. Like basically, it's like these holes in the deck, and then it's like basically almost like a giant outhouse built in the bottom of the ship, so they can offload when they get to dock.
So I'm gonna
right here specifically.
Okay. Can I walk out and go over here to this guy real quick?
He's busy, like kind of like cleaning the deck, like swabbing, and he turns to you.
Can I do charm?
You're gonna be in big trouble if you don't do what you're told.
Can I charm person and try to get him to do it?
Yeah, okay. Let's make a charisma saving throw for this guy. Okay, let me get my dice.
And I'm going to use.
Okay, so look on your spells page. It should say spell saving DC, and that's the number I have to meet or exceed. I got a 14. What do you got?
Spell save DC is 13.
Oh, okay. So that's it fails. So like you need to cast it. He starts to like doing it. Like he kind of shakes his head off. It's like you better go scrub them yourself right now, or you're gonna end up in the brig.
Okay.
At this point, he's pulling out a dagger to emphasize his point.
Okay. I say I don't have any equipment.
Well, then I guess you're gonna have to use your hands and a brush.
Is there anyone else that's watching us? Is Alaris down here?
I'm gonna personally watch to make sure you do it all. And he starts like kind of like shooing you forward while holding his dagger.
Okay, so we're going in this bathroom together.
Yes, and he's just gonna stand at the door and he's gonna make sure you do all the work.
Okay.
Because you kind of pissed him off.
Yeah. Is this a trunk in here?
Yeah. There's like a bunch of different like basically like torn up leaves and palm leaves that are basically used like toilet paper.
Can I try to? Would he fit in there if I knocked him out?
Well, he is standing with his dagger out at the door. It'll be pretty hard to do that, but it's not impossible. If you want to try, you can definitely try. What could possibly go wrong?
Right. Will he fit into this trunk though?
Yeah, I'd say it's big enough. I think you could fit him in there.
So the prestidigitation thing, can't I?
Prestidigitation will instantly make anything clean, or you can snuff out a candle or make a noise at a distance.
Anything clean, huh? Okay, while looking at him, I raise my hand. Green magic starts wavering around it, and I use predestinate. I can't.
Prestidigitation, and it's a very hard word to say, yeah.
Prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation. To
There you
clean
go.
the toilet.
And instantly, clean. You spend another second, clean. And you can just see, like, the disappointment in his eyes, like, fine. And he goes back to doing his job.
I pick up a dirty piece of toilet paper, and I slip it into his back pocket as he leaves. Do I need to do any?
With the amount of sleight of hand you have, you just automatically succeed in that.
Okay. So I am going to run
You
up.
guys come back out, you feel like a little cocksure. You step into the hallway, go ahead and move your character in the hallway. At that point, all of a sudden, woof, everybody gets lurched forward as the ship comes to a sudden and seemingly impossibly fast stop. Everybody needs to make a dexterity saving throw to see if they get thrown onto the deck, like onto the ground, like off your feet.
Dexterity saving
You're
throw,
trying
right?
to keep your feet. Yep, dexterity saving throw. Second column at the very top.
Dang it.
Yeah, both of you like grab onto something, especially because you're inside. You can grab the walls, you keep from falling. Some of the crew get knocked down. Even the captain gets like knocked sprawling. They get up. Captain, first mate, did we hit anything? We shouldn't be stopping this fast. And what you need to notice is you guys have been going in kind of like a collection of other ships. Like there's a couple that are like almost like a mile ahead of you, and there's like one or two that are like just like half about 50 feet behind you, not too far. One kind of more to the west, taking a wider berth around the island. To your right, you can see the start of a large savanna plains area leading into like the rolling sand of the shore and then to the water. And there's a large abandoned-looking lighthouse right there. This is all area that you were expecting to be. That they were going to say it was like a way station that they were looking for. That indicates like, okay, you're going to get around here and then slipstream around the corner of the continent and then take your way to the coast, which is all the way on the east side of the continent. You're on the west side right now, the northwestmost part. And like as you're coming, like what you're looking at is like every one of the ships have also simultaneously stopped. There's people picking themselves up. Every single one of them has stopped simultaneously, despite you look up and the sails are still billowing at full strength. It's almost as if somebody slammed the brakes, even though that's like not how ships should work. In fact, it's kind of like almost it's contorted and bent a couple. You can tell from downstairs. It's like bent and contorted a couple of the planks downstairs.
Am I still downstairs?
Yeah, you kind of regather your balance, and you're standing, I'd say, about right here in the hallway.
Okay, did any poop get on me?
No, because you cleaned it all.
Okay, and there's nothing interesting in the trunk?
No, that's basically just like plants and palm leaves that are used as toilet paper.
Oh, okay. Can I run upstairs?
These are barrels of like lantern oil, like they're full to the brim. And then there's like, some other kind of loose gunk. There's like stuff back here, but this door's locked. But yeah, like you're standing up and you're just getting your balance, like right, I'll move you like right here in the hallway. And that's where you're at the moment.
Okay, do I see anything about this door over here that might interest me at all? Intuition?
I mean, everything back here is probably the more valuable goods, like rum and like salt and pepper is like worth a lot of money to export.
Oh, man.
But like it's clearly like got a heavy lock on it, so you'd have to like it'd be impossible. It'd be hard to lock pick. But if you wanted to, that's probably where all the valuable stuff is.
Do I see anyone that might have a key?
Not down here. It's probably
okay.
The captain.
So can I run upstairs?
Sure. You can run up to any of these stairs, and they'll exit you out like equivocal of like right here.
Okay, I will stop there.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of run up, and you can see everybody's like looking around, confused. You hear Joda turn to both of you. Both of you look around the side, see if there's any damage to the hull.
Okay.
Okay.
so
Are you going to do that, or are you going to keep going?
Yes. I'll look over the side.
Okay.
Okay. Both of
And-
you glance over either side. It's so confusing. Like you're perfectly still in the water, like the waves are lapping against it, the solid against like the stained chunks of and planks, and then immediately you see something. There's a ripple in the water at first, then slowly moving in this undulating, kind of zigzagging back and forth pattern, dripping with like nasty slime. You see these just a swarm of tentacles coming up on either side of your ship. Both of you see this, and immediately you realize that this entire ship has been grabbed by these tentacles that are starting to crawl their way up the ship and working their way to the docks and onto the top deck where you guys are. And that's where we're going to leave it for next time.
Oh,
Oh.
damn, man. I was going to say, I was going to yell out,
You can shout out anything. That's perfectly fine for bookkeeping purposes.
oh,
I'm just saying
okay.
like, that's where we're going to stop it, but you can say anything you
Right.
want before we go.
So I was just going to yell real quick, bards and children to the skate boats. Did we lose him?
No, I'm here. I'm just
Oh, okay.
laughing.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
doing them at the same time. And for a sense of scale, this is how big these tentacles are compared to your character. Which
Oh.
is like square.
Oh.
Damn. Okay. That's going to be exciting. Wow. Well, cool. Dan, why'd you do that to us? It's like an upsell almost.
Always leaving one and more.
Yeah. It's like cocaine. Like Josh Sharit. I'm trying to do heroin Josh. How would I add Josh into a drug?
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Marijoshana. Well, that's not addictive, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. We'll figure it out. Yeah.
So this is very important information.
Yes. Are my hit points still at 16, or can I lift them back up to 17? I wasn't sure. Is this-
You're all at full hit point. You'll just be one hit point down, but otherwise you'll be full. Just because that hit has happened before you can take a rest. Everything else, though, any spells or damage you took from yesterday, you've already recovered it from having a full night's sleep.
Okay, so I have one less hit point, and that will be for the next time, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, if you do that, you should save everything you got on your sheet. So like when you check in next time, everything should be good.
Cool. Well, hey.
And currently, there's a grand total of 6 tentacles that are sliming their way up the building. You can see there's even more that are like squeezing their way in through some of the portholes below. So there's even a couple in the lower decks. But these are the ones that are like working their way up and are just starting to touch the very top deck.
Cool. Well,
And you can see them
awesome.
right here.
Great. Well, I'm going to end the stream there, and Josh will talk to you
I hope
afterwards.
Everybody has a wonderful rest of your night, and I hope everybody had fun watching.
And remember, everyone, Josh's information will be below in the description. Highly recommend. I don't even need to recommend him. You saw it. It'll be below, and all you got to do is reach out to him, and you can have your own fun D&D experience. And yeah, thank you guys so much. I am Stevie,
I'm Lisa.
And I'm
and
Josh.
have a great night or day. Let's see. How do I end this thing? There we go.